%. Oh yeah, I need to put that. Hi everyone, come on in. Hi. Hello. Hello. All right. Sarah, do you want to introduce yourself to everyone? Or can you?
Not today. Can I do it tomorrow?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Well, I want to welcome everyone as everyone begins to come in and we're watching the recording. I haven't really done a lot of commenting this last 24 hours because, to be honest, I haven't felt really good. I did get my hair done for the event, as you can tell, because, you know, my time is limited, but I just felt like really upset stomach and stuff. And so I'm going to try to look at them later on today. I'm doing some work with our AV team to make sure the 3 days are spectacular for you. And booking some things later on today, but I wanted you to know that I will be looking because your assignment has to do with the adjectives again today. And so as everyone comes in, welcome, welcome, welcome. I did see that some of you guys sent me stuff. And again, like I said, I will comment on that. And I mean, there's not really that much to say about it, except for as you begin to discover like how people see you. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that. And I was wondering today if you have if you're confused about your brand, and let's try to not do a client because you guys get a lot of work with the coaches and things like that. So if you're confused about your brand or you have some adjectives that you want to run by me, raise your virtual hand and we will do that today. We'll take a couple of them. So I'll show you kind of how to work it a little bit. All right. And as we, so raise your virtual hand. Awesome. Melissa Robbins. Let's start with you while we're letting people come in. So come on down. Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you? I just want to say I'm so sorry. Monday I missed it because I got a root canal. So.
Well, that doesn't sound fun. Did you get good drugs?
No.
No,
not at all.
Things anymore.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm out for the count. Anyway.
All right.
So I've been getting a lot of boss lady.
Okay.
So when I tried to look it up, it was like, you know, like, what do you call it? Oh, what did they say? like a foreman, or like it wasn't saying anything. I mean, it was, but like foreman,
Yeah.
stuff like that was kind of weird. I don't know.
Okay, great. So how long have you been acting?
Since the pandemic.
Oh, really? So this is a
Yeah.
new thing for you. And why did you decide to be an actor?
Oh, I've always wanted to be.
Oh, great.
I lived in New York for 30 years and moved back to Pennsylvania to become an actress. Go figure.
Oh, that's
But I've
great.
always been on stage. I used to MC on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, and I've always been in front of I was on a TV show. I just always have loved doing it.
Yeah. So
So
you're definitely bossy. I can totally see that. And you have this like really flat delivery that's sort of like you want to, if you don't want to hear the truth, don't talk to Melissa Robbins. Like if you don't want to get the facts, don't talk to Melissa Robbins. Melissa Robbins is like, you're going to come on strong. You're really probably most right for, I mean, I could see you totally playing like a cop on especially a show like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, something that was funnier, like I think you'd be hilarious as that.
I've been getting a lot of comedy too.
Yeah, in the East Coast, here's the thing I want you guys to know about this. Like, this is the thing that's changed, and most of the agents haven't really caught up to this. But it is changed, and it's not going to go back to the way it is. It doesn't matter where you live anymore. So if you are in New York and you're really funny and you should be selling to the funny people, which are mostly in LA, you should sell to them, right? And if someone says, well, I really need boots on the ground, you can say, great, I'm in LA right now. You can fucking lie. Like, it doesn't matter. But like the people that you should be selling to are people like in the comedy world, in the dramedy world, people that have a little, because you have flavor, and they're not going to hire someone with flavor and expect you to dial it down. They're going to find someone that's dialing it down, that's already naturally that way. Like you're a character. When you open your mouth, you're a character. So just like me, you're probably, you could get hired for a smaller role, but most likely you're going to get hired for, a bigger role. So, but I think you should be selling to comedy. I mean, I think that boss and bossy and funny and blunt, I think those are all really good words for you.
It's funny because Laura Stisser, who is my very good friend.
Oh,
she told me the same thing. So I guess.
Did you go to Nice with her?
I did not, no, but she's been staying with me sometimes because her mom lives here. So we've been doing like a little bit of acting our stuff together in person, which is great.
Well, we love Laura. She's an amazing client. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, because my husband and I just went to Nice in the summer, and then we gave her some advice, and she went to one of the places we recommended. And
she had the best time, which is awesome. So and I just wanted to really quickly, I'm sorry. So a lot of the casting directors that I've been reading for have been for like New York TV, like FBI and Blue Bloods and stuff like that. And so I'm starting to feel like maybe that isn't my niche. I don't know. Is it something
I don't think that's your fastest path to cash. I mean, I think that you're going to do really well with commercials, especially if you're non-union, which I assume that you are. And that you're going to do great with that. So I would stick with that. And then I would also look at like horror movies, because there's a huge genre and it's an easier genre to break into. And we use a criteria list when deciding whether we're going to take a job or an audition. But like, I feel like that would be a really good genre, because there's frequently the loudmouth chick, older chick in that, the bossy chick that takes over. She's frequently in those kind of movies.
Great, because I want to talk to you guys further, so I'm gonna find you and figure out how to.
So just have Sarah's on here. Sarah's who you would talk to. And for any of you guys that are interested in talking to us, about working with us, I would do that now, because right before an event, there's always like incredible deals to be had. So if that's something you're really seriously like, I'm going to do that. And if in fact you do it before the event, you get all the event specials that we're going to offer at the event. So, you know, like if that's something you're interested in, Sarah's on here, and Sarah will get you on her calendar or reach out to you. Okay.
Thank you so much, Valerie. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Camilla.
Hi.
Hi. Where are you right now?
I'm in Oslo, Norway.
Yay. I've known Camilla for a long time. She's an award-winning filmmaker. How exciting to have you here. And I see all your great accolades and everything that's happening for you. You've had a long career, like a lot of TV, and now this, it's very exciting.
Yeah, but I do feel like I've kind of reached a point where nothing is really happening. I've had, you know, as you said, my short films have done pretty well in festivals, but my acting career is not really moving forward so much. And I think maybe one of the things also have to do a little bit with branding and yeah. So, and I'm also a little like, how do I, you know, sell myself more into the international market?
Yeah. Okay, great. Those are great questions. I do think that, I mean, I have seen this because I pay attention to your social media and I pay attention to you a lot, you know, and I feel like I see this, but maybe it's more of an embracing that you really begin to embrace the superstar, like the movie star, because you are that, and you are that. And so the more that you define that girl, like, you know, a Margot Robbie, or, you know, someone that's like, you know, we know what we get when we get that person. And, you know, you have this great drive and this great like bite and this great like kind of cold thing that you sell a lot. And so I think like the more like a Tilda Swinton, the more that you can define that and hold that up, it's really interesting. I mean, you and I, like, let's like do you know, if it's not before the event, we'll do it after, but let's find a time to talk on Zoom, because I also feel like, you know, that I have several clients like you. So one client, you know, is her career is exploding in the UK right now. And so, you know, when you go to that next level, which is where you're ready to go and see like, hey, can I get up there and be like major star? Can I do that? I say, yes, you can. So there's something about like, you have to act it before you are it, right? And step into that. I think that you have the materials, like from the pictures and the clips and all that. I think you have all that. I think that you just need to go for the bigger buyers now, like the producers and the directors, and really start to beeline yourself via pitch videos, because that's what's working right now. Right. I mean, I've known Camilla so long that, like you guys, I've always been teaching people how to go around the man and how to get to the buyer like that. Like, because my whole career, it's been roadblock road. I was thinking about this because Actors No Access was started in 1971. And so I was already alive. I was 9 years old, but I never stood a chance because that system was designed to be anti-actor. Sorry. Right. And so like, to be able to like, actually, I've always tried to figure out a way around it. That's how I have the career that I have. So now, Camilla, like, it used to be drop-offs. And then remember, like when I was producing your showcase, I think you guys did drop-offs, right? Like you did drop-offs and things like that. So now what's really working are pitch videos, because no one else is doing them. And when they stop working, we'll find something else, y'all. We will find something else when they start working. But I think like Camilla, like, hey, I'm Camilla. If you don't know me, here's a clip from this film. Here's a clip from this TV. I'm looking at stepping to the next level, and you're someone I really want to work with. Like sort of straight to camera, because you put off this girl that's already that. Do you understand?
Yeah. What I feel, you know, that I have this duality of being quirky and funny, but also can do like really dark roles, like spy roles and, stuff like that.
So does Emma Stone.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like you do have the quirky. You are the by far the best Denise Savage I ever directed. And I directed Savage and Limbo so many times, and like that's your fucking part. Like you are Denise Savage. You're this tough girl that is a weirdo, right? And so like if we think of like Claire, what's her face from, in the where the dragon tattoo, right? Like that is your part. Like you are a girl that will kill the guy and then make some stupid joke that doesn't even make sense. Like, or you'll trip on your way out the door after you shot him in the head 15 times, right? Like I that's who you be. But that's very, like, everyone wants a female heroine now that's flawed. Anyway, you're a super flawed female heroine. So I think you just have to push that out now.
Yeah.
If you watch my friend Dana, so Dana is a girl that was in both Mank and Being the Ricardos. And she didn't utilize me, but she did re-up herself completely to be sort of that movie star thing. And the other thing that's really important for me, for all of you guys to hear, is that I had two friends in Oscar nominated movies this year. One of them hired a publicist, one did not. The difference between the one that hired a publicist and the one did not. So let me explain to you how much a publicist cost. A publicist cost a minimum of $15,000, $5,000 a month, right? Minimum. But here's the deal. You get enough swag to sell that and make your $15,000 back because you're going to walk so many red carpets. If you're in an Oscar nominated movie, you're stupid not to do that. We just supported one of our clients who's like going to be in an Oscar nominated movie and hiring a publicist this year, because like, that's what gets you to the next level. So you got to be really clear that sometimes you have to invest to get there. And I don't think that that's your case, Camila. I think you understand that. But I do think, Camila, now it's like, this is going to be, sometimes we get to this level and we're functioning, and we do want sweat on the next level, but there's also this thing of like, oh my God, it's so much work. How am I going to get there? And it's always less work than you think it is, and it's always more enjoyable. So Camila, make sure that you email me, and then after the event, if you come to the event, but after the event, let's find time to hop on a Zoom thing and talk more about that. Because I definitely think you're there, like you're ready to be a movie star. So it's just like, how do I go do that? Right. And it's all a mindset. Everything is a mindset, y'all. It's a mindset. I'm so glad you're here. And I hope you, and by the way, you guys, listen, the Game Changer is October 7th, 8th, and 9th. Sarah will put a link for a ticket if you have not gotten your ticket, please join us for 3 days. The third day you are going to pitch. We have some amazing people. More importantly, and Sarah will tell you about it tomorrow, we have some amazing panelists on other days. Like we have the most amazing panel for you Saturday night. It's crazy good. And the thing that you're going to really enjoy about it is that there are actors on there that are big time working actors that you're going to recognize that are going to talk to you about the business and how they handle their business. And so that's really, really, really exciting. Yeah. Sarah said it's really, really good. So when she's ready to come off camera or on camera. Thank you, Camila. Joy, what are your adjectives?
So I got kind of analytical with it. You said ask 10 people for 3 adjectives that describe you. So I just asked until I got exactly 30.
Okay.
And they're kind of all over the place. The 3 that were duplicated were sassy, hardworking, and hold on, sorry, creative. But everything kind of,
Well, they might be saying wait, now I lost you.
kind of be following a vein. Like when I read all of them, it reads the way you might describe a really, really good hunting dog.
Okay. I love the word sassy and I love hardworking. I think creative is probably because a lot of your friends and people did it and they're, you're an actor, so you're creative. Oh, she's so creative, so I don't know if that's really applicable, but I love sassy. And I think that sassy is going to show up for you a lot. Sassy is a really good trait for commercials because a lot of times it's also a very good trait for Disney and sitcoms. Right. Sassy is more, it's funnier than bitchy, obviously, and it's got more character. I like the word sassy a lot. I mean, I definitely would use that and go off of that a little bit. So, this is a sentence that can help you to start your breakdown of who you are. So, the sentence goes like this. I am Joy. I'm a sassy, hardworking gal who will always get the job done with a little creativity. So adjective, gender, right? I'm the creative, sassy chick who's always a hard worker, right? And so it's adjective, gender, who will do this to you or who will make you feel this way.
So
now, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to ask, somebody replaced creative with innovative in my list. Is that going to change the tone entirely?
No, the thing that I say to all of you when you are beginning to figure out like what's going to be the name of your restaurant, like we talked about yesterday, what's your brand, you've got to throw up on the page first. So don't get particular about what you use, Joy. Just put it all out there. Go to the thesaurus, get some more, and just throw it up all out of the paper. And then like a puzzle, you begin to go, well, I really like sassy, so I'm going to keep that, but I'm going to take that word to the thesaurus and see if there's a better one. Am I a broad? Am I a chick? Am I a dame? Am I a woman? Am I a lady? Am I a bitch? Am I what is, and this sentence is something you might or might never use again, but it begins to define you so you get clear. So therefore the world gets clear back to you. So Let's just give you an example of that, everyone. I am Valerie Hubbard. I'm the buoyant, ballsy broad who will take you through the funhouse. Now, I wrote that in 1995 in a workshop. 2 years later, I had an agent say to me, you know what you are? You're a cross between Kathy Bates and Drew Barrymore. Thank you very much. Put that in the bucket. Right. And I hardly ever said it, but it was like me defining what I'd already done the previous 10 years of being out of acting school and what, just by like what people gave me in a workshop that I was in, which we're going to repeat that exercise at the Game Changer. So then like down the line, someone said, oh yeah, you always play that woman that lives across the street from you. That's a nosy next door neighbor. So that was like, great. Thank you very much. And then someone else said, oh, you know what? You're the adorable bully. I was like, oh, that's good. Thank you very much. So over the years, the information kept coming in clear. And I never got an audition that I wasn't right for ever in 35 years. Right? Because I've defined myself. And the more clear you are about who you be, they start to write you roles. Right. And so I am in a project right now where they're writing the role as I go for me. Right. And so you define yourself and then you put that out there and people define you back. So just to give you an example, like when we're working with an actor, we might settle on, like, we have a girl that's badass. We have a girl that's the female Danny DeVito. We have a guy that's the funniest dumb guy the smartest dumb guy in the room. We have the numbskull dad. Like, so we have different things that people end up using. And then it's great to watch how, if you guys don't know who Jordan Gilbert is, and she'll be at our event, Jordy's Star Baby, and she's got a huge following on Instagram and TikTok. And she's a good friend of ours. Like when she started with me as a client many years ago, her initial brand was Brazen Blonde and brazen, blonde, and bold, or something like that. We use those 3 words, right? And then as she went on, like she still is purveying that, like in all of her social media, you see that who she is. She's this hot blonde chick that'll kick your ass, like brazen, bold, and blonde, right? And so that really fits her. And it's still her brand. She probably doesn't use those adjectives anymore. I don't know, maybe she does. She doesn't need to, because she's defined now. And we know what we get when we get her. Right? Like, oh, I need someone that's ballsy and blonde and bold, right? Oh, that's like Jordan Gilbert, right? And so you got to get in line. All right. So hope that helps.
Thank you.
Natasha, oh, Natasha D. I have 2 Natashas here. Natasha D, come on down. Hello, unmute. There you go. Hey,
How are you doing?
good.
So I have a similar issue where all the words are like all over the place. Let's see. Do you want me to put it in the chat, or do you want me to
No,
say it?
tell me.
Okay, so I have, and of course people didn't follow directions, but I have charismatic, seductive office worker, enchanting, heartless heroine, brilliant murderous professor, intense wife, compassionate nurse, selfless friend, girlfriend or wife, friendly office worker, family lawyer, witty lawyer, playful aunt, comedian.
Are you a lawyer, really?
Yeah, so that's part of
Ah,
it too.
okay. So I feel like I like this thing about that's coming out about heartless and about a little bit of selfish and a little bit of that thing that's coming out that was in the beginning, and then it got into the nice girl. And the nice girl is, well, frankly, it's boring and no one's hiring a nice girl at this point. If you're a nice girl, you're so nice that you make me want to puke. You're so nice, right? And right. So like, I feel like this kind of, I mean, it's good that you're an attorney. So, I mean, you know, I like this idea of like high end, maybe like, you know, that maybe you know the song Short Skirt and a Long Jacket. That's like that, and like, you know, long nails, and like someone that can kind of takes no prisoner, right? And I think that you might be someone that can be friendly, but like if someone crosses you or crosses your family or something, that's like, then we find out who the real Natasha is.
Yeah. I like
Right. So there's something there, because that's the first, I always pay attention to what you say first.
Hmm.
Right. And sure, your family's gonna say, oh, she's a nice attorney, and you know, like, okay, great, that's your mom or whatever. But like, you know, like I like this idea of this cutthroat chick. I think that's really interesting. And I feel like there's a lot of casting for that.
Okay.
You know, where do you live?
New York.
Oh, you do? Okay, well, that's perfect for New York, because you
Yeah.
can play a young district attorney on, you know, The Good Fight or on Law and Order, and that, you know, those kind of shows can be really, really good for you. I think procedural, because you're already an attorney, I think procedural would be a really good thing for you.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
Yeah.
you bring that to the table. I have a few attorney clients, and I have a judge client, and, you know, I mean, you know, that's always helpful. All right. Right. Like that's always helpful, because there's also going to be a shit ton of movies in the next few years about administrations, you know, and there's going to be congresswomen and senators that need to be played. And, you know, we'll see more of those kind of shows. So,
World, I've been involved in politics too, but I never get those auditions. Like, no.
well, it's okay. So if you're not getting the auditions, you guys, look, if you are getting auditions and there's a bunch of random co-stars, you're getting random co-stars because you're putting out random as your brand.
Yeah.
And if you're putting out random as your brand, all you're going to get is random co-stars, right? If you want to be hired for what you do better than everyone else, you've got to steer the car.
Okay.
You can't wait for an agent to steer it for you.
Makes sense.
Right? Do not make your agents your marketing department. Please, you guys. Look, if you have a good agent and they're getting you in the room and you want to be in the room for something else, you need to talk to your agents about that and say, look, I'm booking I have a client that's booking all this drama, but she really wants to do comedy and she's really funny, but she's in New York and she's booked a bunch of co-stars. So she started to look for an agent that could get her more comedy, but you have to have someone that's going to go along with that. Because like, if you're making a lot of money for them doing, co-stars, a lot of them are like, just keep making that money. They don't want you to, try something else. But you should always try something else. I mean, you should always be moving up, I think. Or you could stay where you're at if you just want to do co-star. But at some point that's going to run dry. The well's going to run dry for you without there's a bunch of new shows.
Yeah, I haven't booked anything yet, so.
Yeah, you're good.
Stuff.
Yeah, you're good. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
The other Natasha.
Hi.
Hi, Natasha. How are you?
Hello. I'm good, thank you. I'm in the UK.
Great. I've talked to you
Yeah.
before, I remember.
Yes. A lot of my friends actually haven't got back to me yet, which is great. When you said 10 friends, I thought, do I have 10 friends? I'm not sure.
I like it.
But the ones that got back were a really strange mixture.
Okay.
So one of the ones that stood out was spicy, and then I got sadistic and sarcastic. I'm going with alliteration here, but yeah, and I think like the other Natasha, I would say that I definitely am putting out a random brand because all my auditions have been all over the place. So
Yeah.
I think I'm totally unsure where I sit.
Yeah. You know how Tyra Banks was on America's Next Top Model?
Yes.
Okay, you remind me of her on that show. You know how she was like, she's cute, but she's also a little blunt, but she's cute.
Yeah.
And you have this like you said, sarcastic, which I don't ever like that word, but there's a little bit of that dryness in you. Like I'm thinking of like the Mean Girls in the Mean Girls movie, like, really? I think that you could probably, this is my guess, could you play ditzy vapid chicks too?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's a lot of money right there. That's like, look at Lisa Kudrow, right? Like there's always that chick. I mean, I would lean into comedy, I would lean into comedy, and that includes like Bridgerton and anything that's dramedy kind of like, but like Fleabag would be so great for you. Like that's the kind of role, or like Her Friends or stuff. I could see you doing something like that probably. Yeah. And I think, but even if you look at Marvel, and there's a shit ton of Marvel shot in London, that Marvel always has a little bit of that going on. A wink and a nod. It's not always strictly drama. Yeah. And I feel like that little wink and the nod would be really, really good for you. I think Bridgerton is right up your alley. So I think that I would, okay. So you guys, when we have a company, right, we kind of have to like go, what I'm asking you for is the product, like if your restaurant is called, Fiorella's or whatever. And so we guess like, oh, it's Italian food. And then there's one dish that we go to Fiorella's for, it's the lasagna. And the lasagna gets them in the door. So like for me, and all brand is on a spectrum. So, but for me, like that sort of like, nosy next door neighbor, some semblance of her, that's the character I've made the most money playing. So if I'm just starting out selling, that's when I'm going to sell, right? If I'm going to go the Oscar route, like I'm going to go start to compete in that arena, I'm going to go more, I'm probably going to dye my hair brown, and I'm going to go more in the light of, more like a Margot Martindale or a Dale Dickey. I'm going to go give you my ugly shit. Right, which I've played before. I've played her, but I'm only going to put her forward if I'm trying to go that route. Right, so sometimes like, we take a certain character. And I feel like the funny part of you is probably, you know, I had an old actor tell me once, if you can be funny, because you'll always work if you're funny. And that actually has been very true for me. When a lot of my friends were sitting around freaking out about they couldn't work as an actor, I was always working because I was funny. So if you have that funny thing going on, go sell that. And it's the same thing we talked about yesterday about the evil thing as well. Like, you know, if you have one of those going on and that's a character that you do really well, go sell that. Go sell it. Because that's what there's a lot of sitcoms and stuff for you. Okay.
Thank
All right,
you.
Natasha.
Thank you.
Alexandra, yes.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Well, you know, I asked my friends, and most of them are actors. And instead of writing the adjective for me, they wrote the type. They're like,
Oh,
oh, but you
okay,
can
so what'd
play
they
this
say?
and you can play it. And I'm like, this is not what I'm asking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, it shows that the actors, they really have difficulties with describing themselves. They're going after type straight away.
Yeah, I play a doctor, a lawyer. Well, I know
Yes.
asshole doctors and nice doctors and crazy doctors and friendly doctors. Like, right, we've got to get to the bottom of like what you always have that shows up.
But there's a few things I got of that.
Okay.
First of all, I have a funny accent, so I can be a great villain.
Yes.
Strong, sexy, funny, evil.
Yeah. I think the accent is gonna, and where do you live?
Denmark. But I'm
Denmark.
from Latvia, so I have a
Yeah.
strong Eastern European accent in a way.
Mhm.
Okay, I don't have very strong, like I don't have
All these, I want to go to Norway and Denmark right now. Let's go. Goodbye.
Come
I'm gonna
on.
go eat in Denmark. It's the best food in the world. And well, people in Spain would argue with me, but anyway, Denmark has the best restaurant in the world. So I would love to go there. So I think a villain is a really good way for you to go. You know, definitely if you were in America, I would totally be putting you in that direction because that is like, there's so much work for you. But you know, in one thing that I would recommend is which are not far, Sweden has you would be great in video games. You know, and what languages do you speak?
I speak Danish, I speak Latvian, I speak English, and I speak Russian.
Mm-hmm. You could probably fake a few words of German too, right?
Simple.
Yeah, okay. I just think that video games would be great for you. The primary video games in the world are shot in Sweden and in London and in LA. It just that'd be a really good market for you. And I also think Marvel is really good for you. I mean, I definitely think, do you have a lot of special skills? Do you like have any weapon training or physicalness? Like
I have done weapon. I have been in a war movie where I played the main actress, like tank driver.
Yeah,
You know,
that's great.
so I was taught how to drive a tank and do some weapons. I have to tell you that they took a tank from the museum, which was actually in the war.
Wow. That's so cool. Well, yeah, I feel like that's a character that, you know, if you took out this really kind of, you know, villainous, you know, tank driving soldier, you know, kind of character, I feel like you could sell her a lot. You know, often you guys, if we give them this fully realized thing, it's like they buy it off the shelf, right? Like, and you think about that. You think about like people like Pee Wee Herman, right? Who was just a made up character in Groundlings that he did, but he made a lot of money from that, right? It was like one character that he sold. And I feel like you might have some sort of character in you that you could go sell like that, right? that you could go sell to a certain demographic. And, you know, like, here's the thing, most of you guys are looking for, you know, you're looking for the next job. Either it's going to be a first big job where you really get paid and you get some notoriety, or maybe it's like Camilla. Like, Camilla's been working and getting notoriety in Norway. Now she needs to get to here where she has notoriety on the international stage. How do I do that? Right. So whatever level you're trying to get to, which the next level, it's like you're looking for that thing. And frequently it's about, you know, taking, like when I did Resident Evil Extinction, I did just a clip of that. And then I went out to like all the horror directors, right? And I just sold myself as this terrible, awful, toothless, crazy hillbilly woman that will kill you rather than look at you. And that got me more horror movies, right? Right. And so taking a certain product out sometimes, because a lot of you guys are just looking for that first job, and it's easier to get that first job if you're really, really, really specific. That's why, like, when someone says, oh, don't get a picture with a cop outfit, you know, like, I don't always agree with when people say things like that. First of all, I think it's very limiting. And second of all, like, I had a girl that had just retired from New York City Ballet, and some asshole in New York told her she shouldn't tell people that. It's like, you're a freaking prima ballerina. You dance with the best ballet company in the world, and you just retired. And so when we started looking at her, she had how many of you guys have had this website? She had the funny commercial dramatic shot. That was when you brought up her website. That's what you saw, the 3 pictures across, right? And it didn't say anything about her. Well, when I started looking at all her tape and everything, I was like, oh my God, she plays this like evil, vindictive little cute thing, right? And then she needs to tell people about her ballet. So I taught her, and when I met her, she had been retired from 3 years from New York City Ballet and had spent the entire 3 years looking for an agent. That's all she was doing, because that's what everyone told her that she was supposed to do. So I got her off to stop looking for the agent, start selling herself. Y'all, 2 summers ago, she booked her first thing. It was a guest star on The Big Leap, or whatever that show is, and she was like the prima ballerina who was a bitch, right? And now you look at her, now I go and look at her website the other day, and it's like, beyond the branding work that her and I did together, now it's evolved. And now when I open her website, I know exactly who this chick is. Like, I know what I'm going to get when I get her. And the ballet is up there because it should be up there, right? That's part of who she is. So I'm really like, you guys have to be really clear. Like, do not sell, you know, ham, tuna, and veggie sausage, you know, like sell one thing to start with and get real clear about that. Okay, Alexander, awesome. I'm going to call you Elizabeth in a second, but I want to say, Tosh, are you on here? Tosh Jordan? Yes, you are. Can you come on over here?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Why, are you in the bathroom? I'm kidding. Can I pin you? Oh no, I pinned you. Hi. Who did I pin? I pinned Sophie. Hi, Sophie. Let me just take Sophie off for a second. And Tosh, I'm coming. Hold on. Okay, and Tosh. Pin. Okay. All right, you're pinned.
Coming on now.
All right. Oh, are you washing your hair? Sorry to interrupt you. First of all, I want to tell you something. There's a Netflix thing that you need to go see. It's called Get Smart with Money.
Okay.
It's a documentary. And why do you need to get smart with money, Tosh? What happened for you this last year?
All right. So in this last year, I booked 2 shows. One of them is occurring on Bel Air on Peacock. The other was a co-star on Grownish. And I'm actually in LA filming season 2 of Bel Air. So Yeah, I'm actually in LA, but like I said, I would be 5 years ago.
Right. So here's the thing. Here's what I want you to know. So Tosh is very clear about what his brand is. And when he's not frozen, he'll tell you what it is, but it sort of will tell you what it is right now, because that's, look at that. What's your brand, Tosh? What's your brand?
All right, so my brand really is the well, actually I just rebranded it. Funny, it's the Wild Card Maverick. So think of me like a lovable troublemaker, like a mix between Kevin Hart, Chris Rock, and a side order of Michael B. Jordan.
Okay, great. Awesome. So Tasha's going to join us at the Game Changer. And I just want to say, aren't you glad you got written out of Jeffrey Dahmer?
Yeah,
because like, I think I'm glad you got written out of there. I wouldn't have been able to watch you. It's like when I had to watch Michael Vincent Barry.
I don't know nobody about that.
Yeah. Well, you did. So it's good. I'm proud of you for what you've done. So thank you, Tosh. And thank you for sharing that. And then good luck shooting the second season. And we'll see you at the Game Changer, okay?
All right, definitely.
All right. I love you. Okay, thanks, Tosh. Yay. Okay, so he's developed his brand after how he's been cast, right? He's gotten a better way of saying it, but like, and he got all of that without like knowing for sure what his brand is, right? Like we worked on his brand. Tosh worked with me for a year. We worked on his brand and we did all that. But like the more important is that he just kept, whether it was fully realized or not, he kept putting himself out there. And that's why he's on Bel Air, is because he put himself out there. And the other thing I want to say about that is turning your co-stars into recurrings. How do you do that? You do that by when you're on set, being there. How many of you guys have waited tables? And, if you don't have, there's always the waiter that if they don't have a table, they're not doing shit. They're just sitting there, right? But like, I was always that waiter that was cleaning the coffee station. And, like, I like to be busy, right? As an actor, you spend 90% of your time on set doing nothing. So what I recommend is you make it strategic, right? So I'm going to go to craft service table and I'm going to meet one person. And it could be a fucking PA. I don't care. Talk to the person that's in front of you. Hi, great. Nice to meet you. What do you do on the set? Oh, great. Awesome. I'm this like, and always try to get their information so you can follow up with them. It's not about, yes, you should have business cards with your face and your name on it. I think that's not a bad idea. However, more importantly, you should be able to get their information. Please don't forget that. Okay, one last one, Elizabeth. Oh, and I haven't even given anyone the homework for tomorrow. Can you believe it? And we're almost over. Let me just tell everyone what the homework is tomorrow. The homework is post a video about what surprised you, what insights you received from the adjective feedback. Post it here on the Facebook, I Love Facebook Actors group. So make a video about what surprised you and maybe something you heard today, like, and if you want to give a shot at that sentence I talked about, adjective, gender, who will do this, then give that. And I don't know if we sent you the build your brand thing, but Sarah, can we make sure that we send them their build their brand thing if we didn't? So we're going to send you the build your brand PDF document, which tells you how to put that sentence together. Okay, we'll send that to you tonight. Okay, Elizabeth, tell me what happened.
So I actually got some pretty consistent answers, and then I got some that are in direct contradiction to each other.
Okay.
But it might not be a big deal because one of the words I got was protean and disarming. I know. It means like changeable, like malleable in some way.
So it's almost like you're an alien, weirdly. Okay, go
I
ahead.
know, which I have played before.
Surprising, not surprising.
So I got like idiosyncratic, disarming, intelligent, articulate, and then I got like tough, smart. And here's where it gets weird. I got charming, and then people will be like, but not calculating. And then some were like, and then some were directly like charming in a calculating way, charming in a like a warm maternal way. Like,
You know the chick that played Tom Cruise's girlfriend, Jennifer, what's her face? In Top Gun, the remake this summer.
yes.
Yeah, you totally remind me of her a little bit. But I also think you have also a Tilda Swinton, like you have a little bit of androgyny about you, which is and it does make you very smart. You're very disarming. I think you could be the quiet, disarming chick. You could definitely be an alien. You could play a Terminator. If you look at like, you could play also in those kind of movies. Like you could play that woman that sort of quietly diffuses the bomb. Right. And so I feel like that's a really good role for you. Yeah, very soldier, very like, where do you live?
I live in New York.
Like, what's that show, La Brea, that's on NBC? It's like where the ground opens up at La Brea, and like that chick that plays the lead, and she works all the time. She was in Justified, and she works all the time. That actress that's the lead in the La Brea, you totally could do her kind of roles.
Okay.
Right? You could definitely do episodic. But I also think like episodic and sort of like the kind of way, like you could also do like things like Walking Dead. That was a little bit like La Brea, like something like in a future world or something in a post-apocalyptic world. You could for sure do that. Right? Because they like you feel like a girl like Jungle Jane a little bit. Jungle Jane.
I also love this. I also feel like it 100% depends on how I wear my hair. Like with it like slicked back, there's this whole, I just went on a run. There's a whole thing where it feels more like athletic and like calculating and disarming. And then like my hair is very curly.
Well, they always want that girl to be pretty too. And so sometimes they want in the other scene when you go to the dinner cube in the spaceship on your way to Mars, they want to see you with your hair down and a little lip balm or whatever. But like, you definitely have that thing. You go, I just went on a run. And like, of course you did. Like you definitely have that Hillary Swank thing a little bit going on. So that's good. It's like, that's interesting. So I like that. Are you coming to the Game Changer?
I am. Yeah. I'm Regina's friend. She was the one who.
Oh, you're Regina's friend? Oh, yeah. Great. We loved Regina. We have a couple of Reginas. We have Regina Hashi. Is that your friend?
That's my friend. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. Regina's amazing. Okay, so we have a couple of Reginas, and I don't know what else we have. A couple of stuff. We have things. We have a lot of different people. All right, you guys, listen, get your ticket. I want you to know on Saturday at 1 p.m. we're going to meet for like an hour and a half, so I can answer more of your questions. And for if you have friends that like wanted to do the challenge and didn't, and you want to introduce them to me and what I'm talking about and the program, bring them on Saturday to the webinar. We still have a couple of VIP tickets left. If you are interested in that, reach out to Sarah. If you already bought a ticket and you're like, wait, I want to upgrade, what does the VIP ticket include? It includes a party with me Thursday night from 4 to 5:30 or something like that. I forget when it is. We'll let you know. It's Saturday evening online. Then you get a t-shirt and you get an Uber gift card. And then you get to have lunch with me and producers on Sunday before the pitching. Those are going to be different producers that are at the lunch with us. And it's going to be a private lunch for just the VIP ticket holders. So if you would like to join us for that, there are still tickets available. Sarah can help you with that. All right. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you tomorrow and do the homework. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.